Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week, we'll speak with men's cross country coach John Tucker, women's cross country captain Dorothy Todd, and men's soccer captain Strock Moore. But first, here's a look back at last weekend in Washington and Lee sports. The volleyball team ran its winning streak to 9 matches with a 3-2 victory over a 23-4 Christopher Newport team and a straight sets win against Roanoke in a tri-match at the Warner Center on Saturday. Against the captains, junior Louise Brooks had 20 kills and senior Rachel Phillips added 16 as the Generals avenged a 3-0 loss to CNU from early September. Men's tennis first year Hayden White finished 4th in the Division III singles bracket at the ITA National Small College Championships in Mobile, Alabama. In football, Washington and Lee came racing back from a 28-3 second quarter deficit, but fell 38-31 at 21st ranked Hampton-Sydney. Senior Ryan Welsh had a career day, catching 9 passes for 156 yards and tying a school record with 3 touchdown receptions. The women's cross-country team placed 9th out of 28 schools at the Gettysburg Invitational, led by senior Kat Telfian's 10th place finish, while the men were 19th of 28 teams at the Oberlin Interregional Rumble. Washington and Lee opened up the riding season with a 5th place showing at the Randolph Invitational on Friday, and then tied for 6th at Hollins on Sunday. The swimming teams also kicked off their 2009-2010 campaigns this weekend. Both teams failed to Mary Washington on the road on Friday. Back home on Saturday, the men defeated Center 134-109, while the women lost to the Colonels by a score of 142-120. On Sunday, Sally Armstrong scored in overtime as the field hockey team knocked off Rhodes 1-0 at the W&L Turf Field. Men's soccer played to a 0-0 draw against Ferrum, with sophomore goalie Alex Lambert making 5 saves. And on Monday, first-year Ainsley Daigle scored in the 88th minute as Washington and Lee beat Transylvania 1-0 in women's soccer at Watt Field. With me now is men's cross-country coach John Tucker. Coach, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
How does running against such a great field like you did against Oberlin this past Saturday help your team?
Well, of course, when you get into a fast crowd like that, and that meet was probably as competitive a race as we could even see this year, probably including nationals, it gives our guys a great perspective. You know, we've had some success early on in the season, and running against nationally ranked teams definitely helps us. We went up there for another reason too, which was to run on a very flat, fast course, so that we could achieve some real times on courses instead of adjusted times. So it benefited for our guys for a variety of reasons, and we walked away with a number of PR lifetime best performances.
Your team has already run at Roanoke, where the ODAC Championship meet will be held next Saturday, as well as at Guilford, which is the site of the South-Southeast Regional. How will familiarity with those courses help as you prepare for the postseason?
Well, of course, familiarity with the course always helps, and actually we're going to go down there again this Saturday to do a workout on the Roanoke course, so that we'll be even more familiar. Pacing is easy on tracks because you can take your target pace, if you know what your current ability is, and divide it into however many laps you're running, and then you've got your target paces all set. But on cross-country courses, where especially if they're hilly and difficult, it's a little trickier. So we're going to go down there and try to figure out what each of our runners' best race needs to be per mile, for example, on the Roanoke course.
The future looks very bright for Washington and Lee. 3 junior captains this year and just 2 seniors on the roster. How do you expect things to unfold over the next couple of seasons with all of this talent coming back?
Well, of course, with great anticipation. We've had a number of course, we've got these great freshmen. We've had a number of our upperclassmen, sophomores and juniors stepping up as well. So with just the natural progression over another year, we'll see improvement. But I think that, you know, as a rising tide lifts all boats, when you see freshmen and other guys on your team running better, and there's a significant number that are doing that, it's a great incentive for everyone to improve. So I think we're going to see even greater things in years to come.
You have plenty left to accomplish in 2009, though. What will it take for the Generals to recapture the ODAC Championship next Saturday?
Well, it's going to be tough for us to win. Lynchburg is ranked number 2 in our region, and they should probably be ranked nationally. They're going to give Emory all they can handle, and they might even take it from Emory, who is ranked number 11 in the country right now. So with Lynchburg running as strong as they are, I think it's probably realistic for us to to think we could take second. And I believe if we run like we did at Oberlin and the way I think we're going to run at ODAX, I believe we can surprise some people.
Yes. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. Good luck at the ODAX Championship meet next weekend.
Thank you.
With me now is Dorothy Todd, senior cross-country captain from Watkinsville, Georgia. Dorothy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
The Generals lost a great senior class to graduation in the spring, but you've certainly proven that the cupboard isn't bare this fall. How has Washington and Lee been able to sustain this kind of success?
I think one thing that's been crucial for us is that this year's seniors, juniors, and sophomores had the opportunity to run kind of under the tutelage of those really great runners that we lost. So, we got to see what dedication looked like. We got to see what determination looked like. We got to see what working as a team looked like. And so I think coming in with that experience has been huge for us. I also think that we've had a great freshman class come in that is really dedicated and really has fun with running. I think that there's a lot of love for our sport right now, and I think that's helped us immensely.
How does running in a bigger field like you did at Gettysburg this weekend help the Generals?
I think that was a huge experience for us. Kind of like what Coach Tucker was saying earlier, you have just the experience of running in a larger pack and having to work extra hard to find your teammates so you can run together because you're in a much larger field. I also think that it gets you ready for some of those bigger meets later in the season. It gets you ready for regionals because that's going to be a larger pack as well. I also think that it's hugely helpful to have lots of runners around you so that you're constantly picking out runners to catch up to and pick off, and you never get stuck in those kind of lulls in between packs, which can happen in some of the smaller races.
What has been your favorite experience as a student athlete at Washington and Lee?
I think that just getting to put on the trident every week or every other week, I think that's a huge experience. It's a real honor to get to represent W&L out there week after week. I think that winning ODAX as a team for the past 3 years that I've been here and then years previous to that has been a culminating moment for each season, and the idea that we might get to do that and graduate as seniors having experienced an ODAC championship every year is really exciting to me. So that's something I'm really looking forward to in the coming weeks.
Conference championship meet is at Roanoke next Saturday.
Yes.
You've already run on that course. You've competed against several teams from the ODAC as well at various meets throughout the year. How do those things help you as you prepare to try to win that 4th ODAC title?
I think getting to see the course is hugely beneficial for us. We know where the hills are. We know where the flat areas are where you can really surge and push and get those girls in front of you. One thing that has been interesting about this season is we have run against some of the teams in ODAX, but no one has really had their full roster running at full capacity, ourselves included. We had a couple of girls who are coming back from injuries, and so despite the fact that we've run against a lot of these teams and they've run against us, everyone's a little unsure as to what's going to be out there the day of ODAX, and so I think it infuses it with a little bit of excitement, just because everyone's a little bit of a dark horse in some ways, so I think it'll be good.
Generals are still the team to beat with 5 straight conference titles. Good luck as you try to win a 6th next Saturday.
Thank you. Thanks.
Joined now by Strock Moore, senior soccer captain from Birmingham, Alabama. Strock, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeremy.
Today's match against Eastern Mennonite will be just the 4th home game of the 2009 season. How pleased have you been with the way the Generals have stayed afloat against such a tough schedule?
Well, it really has been a tough schedule. We've had, I think, exactly twice as many away games as home games, and most of our home games are at the end of the season, which is great, but it's always very difficult. We've had some games where you have to miss an entire day of school for an away game, and that's been hard academically as well as it's very easy to lose hope when you're always against in a relatively volatile and hostile environment, and so we're really excited to finish the season with some home games, and really pleased, I guess, with the strength of our team to have a lot of away games and do relatively okay.
How important are these 2 home games this week, EMU today and Hampton-Sydney coming in on Saturday?
Well, they're big. They're very important. At this point, we still control our destiny as far as getting into the ODAC tournament, which is the goal right now. And I think we can solidify that with a win today, and it's also very important just for morale to go into the tournament on a hot streak, and we don't really like Hampton-Sydney, so.
What does it mean to you to be a Division III student athlete?
Oh, that's hard. Well, I think it's just a wonderful experience. You really get to kind of enjoy, if you can call it that, the academic rigors of an intellectual institution, but also have the added struggles and thrills of being an athlete. And I'm just very, very blessed and excited to have that opportunity. And I couldn't imagine going through college any other way.
Almost every W&L game this year has been a hard-fought contest. All 4 of your losses are by a single goal as well. What will it take for the Generals to pull out those close games at the end of the regular season?
Yeah, the ODAC's not necessarily a huge offensive league, so there is a lot of defense, and we have lost some really close games. I think just more total team offense. A lot of times we leave our forwards kind of stranded up top, and we've actually kind of switched the way we're playing the last couple games and had a lot. I think we've had over 27 shots in the past 3 games, which is just a lot more offensive production. In the past 3 games we haven't lost, so I think we're pretty excited with the way we're playing right now and look forward to these next games.
Well, Strock, thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me.
The Washington and Lee women's swimming team hosts the ODAC Relays at Cy Twombly Pool starting at noon on Saturday. Also in Lexington, volleyball meets Bridgewater and Marietta in a tri-match, while men's soccer takes on Hampton-Sydney at Watt Field. You can watch the soccer game live on B2 at 1 o'clock. On the road on Saturday, the football and women's soccer teams play ODAC contest at Guilford, while field hockey visits Virginia Wesleyan. Women's soccer travels to Ferrum on Sunday, while the golf team heads to Guilford for the Tom O'Brien Invitational on Monday and Tuesday. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.